During the World Interfaith Harmony Week, religious representatives gather to exchange experiences. A senior volunteer has been doing recycling for 26 years despite being diagnosed with liver cancer. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Sivas. Thank you for joining us. During the World Interfaith Harmony Week conducted by the United Nations, the representatives of different religions gathered to exchange their experiences, as well as praying for a world free of disasters. Moreover, they were invited over to the Tzu Center of New York to have a breakfast gathering.
Every year, the first week of February is the official World Interfaith Harmony Week. It aims to promote harmony between all people, regardless of their faith, as well as working together for world peace.
Good morning. How are you?
On the last day of the event, many representatives of various religions headed over to Tzu Center of New York to have breakfast together. It was a great way for everyone to exchange one another's enriching experiences with the volunteers.
I feel that it is quite a privilege to host this interfaith prayer breakfast this morning. It is always wonderful when people of goodwill can come together in prayer and to break bread together.
The representatives of each religion took turns to go on stage. Each one used the ways of their respective religions to pray for peace in the world.
Who will that all living things should have their being in you.
Far from converting the Sultan, learned a bit about during one of the
I'm so grateful to the Sivas Foundation for bringing us together in this beginning part of the week of the Interfaith of Harmony to bring together people of different faith traditions.
The host for this breakfast gathering is the chair of the UN Department of Public Information, Bruce Knotts. He's also a newly certified city commissioner.
This is for Steve Wong, because Steve Wong told me there's a camera outside here, and if I don't come here, he's going to come and get me. So he said, I want you here every day, and I want you to bring your friends to this new office.
People may have different beliefs, but each religion plays an important role in different people's lives, guiding individuals to do good deeds for humanity. As the representatives and the volunteers have gathered to exchange experiences, they hope to find ways to make the world more peaceful and harmonious.
In Malaysia, 19-year-old Sivas was good at sports. Unfortunately, he became paralyzed due to a traffic accident. After his parents passed away, his aunt and uncle have shouldered the responsibility to care for him. Upon learning of his situation, city volunteers provided nutritious supplements. With the volunteers' help, Sivas has grown taller and stronger, delighting those around him.
Dulu dia suka
He used to like football. He loved to study and play.
At the age of 19, he should be pursuing education and a brighter future. However, when impermanence struck, how should the family deal with it?
Malam pukul 12 doktor call kita orang baru tahu dia accident.
At 12 o'clock midnight, we received a phone call from the hospital. They told us that Sivas suffered severe injury due to a traffic accident. We need to assign for him to undergo the surgery. Afterwards, he was in a coma for 6 months. The doctor said that he had lost some of his memory and could not walk and speak.
After Sivas' parents passed away, he was brought up by his aunt. After the accident, his aunt is even more willing to care of him.
He's not her child, he's only his aunt, but she treats him like her own child, or even as important as her life. Her entire family had no complaints and have been stayed by Sivas' side to accompany him through the difficulties.
Pergi cari wang mama beli susu. Dulu ada kerja kat, lepas itu saya carilah TBC ke apa ke sikit-sikit kutip lah.
Since he could not speak and was unable to walk or eat, he was frustrated and wanted to commit suicide. We took him home after the accident, but we could not afford him a can of milk powder each day. Even for a small can, it cost about $15. So I used 1 can for 3 days. Therefore, he became skinnier as he could count the bones here.
Upon learning of his situation, Tzu volunteers made an assessment of his condition and decided to provide 12 cans of milk powder and daily necessities monthly.
Tzu Chi provides us 12 cans of milk powder every month. With Tzu Chi's help, Siva gains weight and becomes stronger now, but he still feels painful.
Besides providing the needed supplies, Tzu Chi volunteers also pay attention of Sivas' spiritual needs.
In fact, besides his family's love, feel that he needs more social interaction with people. The bicycle what we sent to him may be used to exercise his legs. We hope this equipment can be put to use.
If Tzu Chi volunteers did not come to help him, I can imagine how he would be. We're deeply grateful to Tzu Chi. In 2014, Tzu Chi volunteer Zhang Zheyue's son had a serious car accident. He was in critical condition. After he woke up, he lost his memory and speaking ability. The entire family has been accompanying him throughout these years.
Back then, the doctor told me that my son's brain had very serious bleeding. After hearing it, I wanted to kneel down and beg him to save my son.
If I had died, I would not have known anything, but those who have loved me would have suffered miserably.
When he woke up, he had lost his memory, and he couldn't care for himself either. He lost his ability to talk too, just like a newborn baby.
I call my dad Mufasa, who was the father of Simba, the main character in The Lion King. I only had memory from my kindergarten. When you believed you could control everything and took care of everything, you suddenly collapsed.
In the past, he was like the God's favorite one, and in many areas, he was the best, sometimes a bit arrogant.
After this car accident, I realized I had to change some of my behaviors.
When someone is rich and lives well, they won't think about impermanence. After experiencing his accident, now I cherish every person and thing more than before.
At the beginning, I couldn't even say the word dad, but this group of different therapists and the caretaker, who was illiterate, had been caring for me so I could reach this far. Therefore, I must cherish everyone around me, because they are very valuable.
In Hong Kong, to meet the residents' need for water, the government buys Dongjiang water from China. However, the cost of Dongjiang water for the Hong Kong government is 6 times more expensive than that of other cities. In addition, if the Hong Kong residents are not able to use up all the Dongjiang water in a year, it can only be saved in reservoirs. Then when the reservoirs are full, the water will be discharged, wasting all the money. Here's more on this issue. Water can quench people's thirst and also the thirst of the city.
Of course, Hong Kong lacks water since we have so many people. We mainly rely on Dongjiang water.
For the past decades, the water supplies has not been cut off in Hong Kong. Therefore, I think Dongjiang water is enough for us.
The Dongjiang water, which is transported through pipes, goes through purification, filtration, and sanitization. It is the main source of fresh water in Hong Kong. The reason that Dongjiang water has come to Hong Kong is because Hong Kong experienced a drought in 1963. Back then, Hong Kong was a British colony, and the government reached an agreement with Guangdong province to buy 23 million cubic meters of Dongjiang water every year.
东江深圳供水工程建成了。今天，1965年2月27日，一个盛大的庆祝大会将在塘头下举行。
Speaking of Dongjiang water, a lively song which describes the love of Dongjiang water has witnessed this history.
to receive water from Dongjiang should be the best solution in terms of considerations of economy and environmental protection. Of course, we have other options, but we need to consider its economic costs and how much electricity is used during the process. In Shenzhen, there is a population of more than 20 million people. If you add the eastern part of Guangzhou, including Dongguan, Huizhou, and Daya Bay, we are talking about a population of 40 million people. It is a huge number.
Compared to other cities, Hong Kong is located at the end of the Dongjiang water provision pipes. If they have to fight over water, Hong Kong will lose. Being the mother river of 5 cities and 2 districts, will Dongjiang have enough water?
Compared to Pearl River, Dongjiang does not have a lot of water. Among Xizang, Beijiang, and Dongjiang has the least amount of water. Despite that, it provides water for a large number of people. Therefore, the government has started to channel water from Xizang to Dongjiang, which is known as the Water Transfer Project.
Transferring water can relieve Dongjiang's water provision pressure. However, for Hong Kong, Dongjiang water costs a lot. According to the agreement of Dongjiang water provision signed in 2017, from 2018 to 2020, the cost of Dongjiang water exceed $1.8 billion, which is 7% more expensive than the previous agreement.
买东江水最新的那个跟内地的合约，那个价格大概是。
According to the newest agreement, the cost of Dongjiang water is 76 cents per cubic meter, but this refers to the cost of original water. After buying original water, we still need to sanitize and process it. Therefore, the cost of water actually exceeds $1.
那个水价超过8块港元。
The scholar also emphasized that the cost of Dongjiang water in Dongguan and Shenzhen is less than 13 cents. Hong Kong is buying it at 6 times the cost. In addition, since the cities along Dongjiang have developed much in the past years, one has to consider the reliability of the water quality.
From this trip, we were able to examine the quality of the Dongjiang water. It is quite good. We've learned from the council members that they are quite content with the quality of the Dongjiang water.
Even though the water quality is not a question anymore, Hong Kong residents cannot use all the Dongjiang water every year. The extra water is saved in reservoirs. When the reservoirs are full, they can only discharge the water, wasting the money. Therefore, the media has reported that some residents think they should get rid of the reservoirs and use the land to build houses.
Without Dongjiang water, if one day mainland China does not export water to Hong Kong, the residents in Hong Kong would not have water to use.
What should Hong Kong do if China lessens the provision of Dongjiang water? Using the water sparingly is only the basic. Maybe eventually Hong Kong needs to search for new water sources and lessen its dependence on Dongjiang water. City volunteer Wu Jingyi from Fengyuan, Taichung regularly goes to the market to collect plastic bags. One day she had a creative idea of turning plastic bags into aprons. As the recycling volunteers wear them, the aprons are both dirt resistant and waterproof. When Dharma Master Zheng Yan visited the humanitarian Ecotech Pavilion, she was delighted to see the apron on the senior volunteer. The senior volunteer said that this apron, which cannot be bought, is very dirt resistant. This apron is the creative work of Fengyuan City volunteer Wu Jingyi. She has long been going to the local markets to collect plastic bags. Then one day she had this creative She will trim the large plastic bags since they aren't always in the best of conditions.
We cut about this much. We cannot cut a lot or else it would expose too much. We cut a little bit like this and then start to trim it. Then we cut the sleeves area. This here is about done. After we open it up, it will look like an apron.
She wants me to wear it out and show everyone because this is made from recycled materials.
Recycle 嘛哈，就是重复再重复嘛，安尼是用到淋漓尽致。
The volunteers also glue on plastic flowers to the aprons as decorations. The senior volunteers who wear them look really adorable. With creativity, the volunteers are able to extend the life of recycled materials. In Zhanghua, 83-year-old volunteer Huang Meilan has been doing recycling for 26 years. She was diagnosed with liver cancer 13 years ago, and the doctor told her that she only has 6 months to live. But this did not stop her from doing recycling every day. 10 years have already passed, and Grandma Huang is still standing strong.
Despite the cold weather, Huang Meilan still goes outside to do the sorting. She has been doing recycling for 26 years already.
Although I'm not feeling well, but I still kept on doing recycling. For me, recycling is what keeps me going in life.
As we can see, recycling is very important for Grandma Huang. She was diagnosed with liver cancer 13 years ago. The doctor told her that she only has 6 months left to live, but this didn't stop her from doing recycling.
I have liver cancer, heart problems leading to fluid accumulation in my lungs. I also have a tumor in my brain. I asked the Buddha if I can keep doing recycling, then I must stay. On the contrary, if I can, then you can take me away.
Her son understands his mother's devotion in recycling. Therefore, he had cleaned up a space in his storage room for his mother to put the recycling items.
She will put the cardboard boxes over here. We made a space for her to put the recyclables. She has a poor health condition, so we encourage her to keep moving around to maintain her health.
Whenever the son has free time, he will do the recycling with his mom as well.
I always see Grandma Huang collecting recyclables on the streets. Therefore, I would do the sorting first, then give them to her.
Grandma Huang has put all of her efforts into recycling work. This is what motivates her to stay healthy all these years.
City volunteer Song Qianzhen has been an artist for more than 30 years. About a year ago, he was diagnosed with cancer. However, he wasn't defeated by the challenge. He has used his time to learn skills to carve golden stone to make Buddhist sculptures. A variety of his art pieces are being shown at the Taichung Jingsi Hall.
The painting on copper is sophisticated and well-crafted. The layers on the Buddha's robe looks natural and real.
After I finished the composition, I used knife to carve the lines in front. Afterwards, I switched it to the back and carved the backside with the same technique.
Tzu Chi volunteer Song Qianzhen studied art when he was young. He used the name Fang Shi as his artist name, and he has created a variety of paintings and sculptures. His copper pieces included Buddha figures as well as natural scenery. Everyone was impressed by the sophisticated work.
The old Japanese craftsman mostly used a hammer to make smaller pieces. It seems like he is the only person in Taiwan that has made such a large piece. It's eye-opening for me.
Song Qianzhen was diagnosed with terminal oropharyngeal cancer a year ago. However, he was not defeated by the sickness, but instead seized the time to learn new techniques to carve on gold and stone.
I don't have much time left, so I want to achieve everything I want as much as possible.
To transcend the solemn and compassionate spirit through his art has always been his goal. He hopes to bring his ideas to life.
His perseverance and strength are worthy for everyone to learn.
All his masterpieces will be exhibited at the Taichung Jingsi Hall from the first day of the Lunar New Year. Volunteers hope to invite more people to visit and experience the beauty of this artist's creation.
The Hualien Search and Rescue Team was established in January of 2018. However, they were quickly put to the test on the night of February 6 when a massive earthquake hit Hualien. It's now 1 year later. Much growth and training has taken place with all the team members. The images from that mission will be engraved in their minds, but it's also what motivates them to better themselves.
A year ago, Hualien was struck with a massive earthquake, taking down 4 major buildings. At that time, Hualien County Search and Rescue Team Captain Chen Chouming was one of the first people on site.
I immediately headed over to the disaster zone with my team. I was the head of command, so it was crucial to get as much information that was available as fast as possible. Knowing how many people were trapped inside and how many people had been evacuated already.
The constant cry out for help cuts right through the silence of the night. The multiple aftershocks, one after another, kept everyone on their toes. The search and rescue team risked the constant possibility of being crushed by the damaged buildings. They are in the front line, using their own lives to protect the people.
I saw that the building was leaning to one side. It was like a knife that was able to step downwards. The amount of pressure was really high, with so many people climbing out of windows. The ones that we could get to quickly were the first ones to be rescued. Then we would use ladders or just physically climb into the building to pull out the individuals.
The search and rescue mission continued until dawn. It had started to rain, with the temperature dropping. However, saving lives isn't something that can be delayed.
Thinking back, we just kept on rescuing the ones that had been found and searching for the ones that were still missing. We all hoped that we were capable of finding everyone that was affected. That was the ultimate goal, 0 casualties. This is what we were trained to do. That was our mission. There actually weren't any other thoughts at the time.
No one saw this big of an earthquake coming. For Chen Chouming's eldest son, with both parents being first responders, he was extremely worried for their safety.
All my thoughts were on the people who were still trapped, the search and rescue team members, and my own parents. Were they keeping warm? Do they have anything to eat, etc.? Are the people trapped able to be rescued successfully? These were all the things that were worrying me at the time.
However, it was also these thoughts and actions that prompted Chen Anbo to want to become just like both of his parents, a first responder in the future.
At the scene, I saw both of my parents rescuing people from the most dangerous of places. Whenever they successfully pulled someone out from the rubble, I felt very proud of them. So I hope that in the future, I can be just like them. I too can help those who are in need of rescuing.
The shocking images of the February 6 Hualien earthquake will forever be engraved in the team members' minds. In order to better themselves, this group of selfless individuals continue to train together with different search and rescue units from other counties and cities.
We shouldn't have the mindset of go and see for yourself. It shouldn't be the approach of we can only learn when we experience it firsthand, fall down and get hurt ourselves. We can actually learn a lot from others who are most experienced than us. I believe by working and training together on a regular basis, it will better prepare us for the next disaster that strikes.
Whenever disaster strikes, the first responders will appear. 1 year has passed, and the mission of saving lives is stronger than ever. Each of the team members are all guarding their posts, always on standby to give it their all.
On February 5th, Tzu Chi U.S. headquarters held its Lunar New Year Bazaar at the Tzu Chi grounds. Many residents who were joining the Lunar New Year celebration for the first time were amazed by the experience. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye.